In this video, we will focus on exam questions based on network layers. So now let's look at question number 1. What are the names of the 4 layers of the TCP/IP stack? The simple answer to this is application, transport, internet, and network. That would get you your 4 marks in an exam question. To help you remind as a memory aid, ATIN, so you've noticed that I've highlighted the first letter of each of the layers. So just to develop a big picture of what's going on here is, if we have computer on the left transmitting data, so what will happen is the data will flow through the application layer and its protocols, the transport layer, the internet layer, to the network layer. The data will then transmit to the recipient, where the data will go through various changes and modifications and stripping down of data as it passes through the network layer, the internet layer, the transport layer, back to the application layer. So it can then be used by the end user. So that's to give you an idea why we have those 4 layers. So ATIN is our abbreviation, and just to simplify things, remember a layer is just a collection of protocols, and we will be going into protocols in more detail in another question. Question number 2. Explain why protocols are important on a computer network. In simple terms, network protocols are sets of rules. What do these sets of rules allow to happen? The first thing that they allow to happen is communication between all nodes on a given network, whether that's a computer or a printer or any device connected to a network, or data that is being transmitted across multiple networks in the case of the internet. For this to happen, we must ensure that all devices are abiding by the same set of rules. So they are following the same standards with regards to the formatting of data, the size of data, the voltage levels. All data formats must be followed. These are stipulated within the protocol rules. It's also important to remember that people will be accessing the network on a variety of different hardware platforms, such as smartphones, laptops, tablet PCs, smart internet-enabled devices such as wireless devices such as smart TVs. They will have a variety of different operating systems such as Android or Windows or iOS or macOS as some examples. They could also be using a variety of different programs to allow that communication, such as email. It could be using a browser. Now, it's very important to ensure that all of these devices, regardless of hardware platform, regardless of operating system, regardless of the program that that user is using, abides by the rules stipulated within the protocols. So, to recap, why are protocols important? They allow communication between nodes. They ensure that all devices are following the same protocol rules. They will allow those signals or data to be interpreted correctly regardless of the type of device that is being used on that network. Question number 3. Explain what is meant by the term TCP/IP stack. Well, the term stack came from this concept of the 4 layers stacked upon each other. So this diagram's been replicated from question 1 for clarity's sake. So that's where the term stack came from. It's this 4 layers of groups of protocols. So what does TCP stand for? It stands for Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. So this is the standard protocol suite that has been agreed for data transmission across the internet. So all devices communicating across the internet will be using the TCP/IP suite of protocols. Each group of related protocols is known as a layer. So the application layer will be made of many protocols. Same with the transport, internet, and network layers. This promotes the autonomy or independence of each layer. So work can be done on one layer without having an impact on another.